Good afternoon, good evening. Allow me to welcome you back to another episode of Dad Can We Talk. As always, I am your host, Gabe Dorsey. Happy to have you back on another Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in here on Virtuous Streams, a network that is pure, personal, and powerful for the family, by the family, and about the family. I'm blessed to be back in front of you again. I'm first and foremost, I'm just happy to be here. That's number one. I don't know why, but I just had to say that. I'm just happy. I'm happy every Tuesday that I get to do this. I'm happy every Tuesday that I get to be in front of you because what I hope that you're taking away from this, from every time that I go live, from every time that I do one of these broadcasts, I hope that you're walking away with something. You understand? Like, I hope everybody that tunes in is walking away with something. I don't want you to just walk away with, you know, Gabriel. I want you to walk away with something that filled your spirit, man, something that spoke to you, something that touched you, something that, it did something for you. So, with that said, let's get to it. If you remember on last week, I was talking about how important it is to not lose your focus, how important it is to I told you that you're supposed to push, pray until something happens, but at the same time, you're supposed to keep focused. You're supposed to always be focused because we tend to pray and then we take our mind off God and then we wonder why we don't have peace. We wonder why life is in turmoil, things are messed up because we were praying, but we lost focus. So I say all that to say, I hope y'all didn't think I wasn't going anywhere with all of that. I I really hope because remember, this is still Dad Can We Talk. So I hope you didn't think I was just giving you all those nuggets and everything that I was talking about to not bring it back to what this show is about. With that said, why was I talking about focus? Why was I talking about how important it is to pray and how important it is to keep your mind on God? I had one reason behind it, and my reason behind it was just being that we have a lot of young men in my generation who don't focus. To be honest, we don't really pray as much as we probably should, but we don't focus. We don't focus on God. We focus on everything else. Being a young man in today's world is difficult. It's extremely difficult. It's difficult for a couple reasons. There's a lot of things that impact us. There's a lot of things that what's the word I'm looking for? Inhibit us. That there's a lot of things that stunt us. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of obstacles that we face. Number one of the biggest challenges against young men in today's world is mental health. That's one of the biggest ones. Number two, the second biggest problem facing a lot of young men in today's world is dealing with our environment. A lot of us, like for myself, first and foremost, I was blessed and fortunate enough that I was raised in a good environment, that my parents put me in good schools, that I had opportunities granted to me. And I recognize that a lot of people didn't have. So I'm always mindful of those things. I'm always like cognizant of the fact that I was given um better opportunities, better, like I said, good schools, good. My mom fought literally. She fought so that I wouldn't she wouldn't let me skip grades. She wouldn't let me, she wanted me to be as prepared as possible going through school. So I say all that to say that we as men, and not just young men, because I realize I started with young men, but we as men, we tend to get battered down by life, right? Because the expectation that society, that the world has put on us is that as a man, you can't show any emotion, right? You can't show, it's a weakness if you cry. It's a weakness if you talk about your feelings. It makes you vulnerable. It leaves you open. You know, people will use your feelings against you. People will use your weaknesses against you. As a man, unfortunately, so many of us are taught to just swallow it, to keep it pushing, to keep it moving. We're not allowed to, speak on it. You gotta buckle up. You just got to take that. You got to keep taking what life throws at you on the chin. And the unfortunate reality is that a lot of us succumb to everything that we're battered with, right? A lot of young men, unfortunately, will succumb to every obstacle that life throws their way. We, they will, let's just be real, a lot of young men will commit suicide. They will seek a way out of life. And in my previous two episodes, what I was talking about with prayer and focus is because even if you feel like, as a man, that you can't be vulnerable with anybody, even if you feel like you can't be open with anybody, even if you feel like there's nobody that's willing to listen, or there's nobody that you can talk to, we pray and we focus because God can be all of that for us. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he's there when the world says that you're alone. He's there when the world says you got to deal with this all by yourself. He's there. Remember, in my previous episode, I talked about how you can go to God with your cares. You can go to God with your burdens. You can go to God with your problems. You can put all of that on him. We get hemmed up in the world, right? We get hemmed up because life seems hard and things are getting harder, and we don't know how to navigate, and we don't really know how to keep going in this world. But I'm here to tell you that he's there for us, right? Which is why I spoke so heavily on how important it is to focus on him, because we lose focus, life gets hard. And for men, life gets hard. Let's just be 100% honest. Life gets hard. A lot of men, you're the head of your household, you're the you're the breadwinner, you got it, your dad, your mentor, some of us are big brother, we fill a lot of different roles. You take on so much, right? So even if you feel like you can't go to another person, even if you feel like you can't talk to somebody when life kind of gangs up on you, you don't have to keep taking those punches on the chin. You don't have to keep dealing with that, right? Because the moment you pray, the moment you decide to focus on God, you get that peace, right? The moment that you decide to say, I'm going to give all these problems to the Lord, the moment that you decide to say, I'm going to let God handle this, right? That's the moment that you begin to see peace. The word says, no man is an island unto himself, right? we You know some script, iron sharpens iron. You know the scriptures, right? So I say all that to say that, and again, I'll bring it home. I'll bring it home personally for me. I was in the middle of probably the worst situation of my life, right? Like the worst. I had dropped out of school. I wasn't doing that well, honestly. I wasn't doing as well as, like, I would get on the phone with my relatives and I would tell them I was doing good and all life is great, and it wasn't. But I'm so I'm my father's son through and through, because that's something I got from him. The world could be coming down, and I know some of y'all could relate. The world could be coming down around you. The world could be falling flat around us. Everything falling apart, bank account empty, car done broke down, just chaos. And you'll sit there and somebody be like, do you need help? And you'll be like, nah, I'm good. I'm straight. Everything cool. Everything's good. And I'm guilty of it. I'm so guilty of it. I'm that pride kicks in, what the world says kicks in. You don't want to feel weak. You don't want to be vulnerable. You don't want to feel like, and you just, I'm back. um, where was I? No, but I know what I was saying. So pride kicks in. We listen to what the world says. We don't want to be weak. We don't want to be vulnerable. And that pride kicks in and says, I can't tell nobody. So you just, we say this phrase to ourselves. We say, you gotta man up, right? You gotta you gotta man up and you just gotta deal with it. You just gotta handle it. It just, you can't ask nobody for help. It is what it is. But that's not the case. That doesn't have to be the case. That doesn't have to be what you do. That doesn't have to be how you handle it, right? That doesn't have to be the end all be all for you. That you just keep swallowing and you just, whatever life throws at you, and you just keep manning up. You just, man, there's only but so much you can take. There's only but so much you can take. We are not supermen. We are not built to keep taking punches and to keep taking hits. That's not what we're built for. And some of us, we'll say, oh, it was just, that's just how I was raised. That's just what I was taught to do. And I understand, believe you me, I understand that 1,000%. I understand. But I'm here today to tell you, it doesn't make you weak. It don't make you a punk. It don't make you a sissy. It don't make you none of the above to stop and say, God, I need some help. It don't make you none of the above to stop and say, God, I need some help. The Bible is full of men who, when their back was against the wall, they had nothing else to do but call on the Lord. Even the strongest man in the Bible, even Samson, had to stop and say, God, I need some help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. If you can't go to a person, you can go to God. There's nothing, say it with me. Say it with me. There's nothing wrong with asking God for help. See, a lot of us wait till things really get bad, right? A lot of us have a tendency to wait until things really start messing up. And then we just kind of go, you at your, and I know we reached the end of our ropes, right? Nobody sees when you're sitting in the room by yourself and you just trying to pull it together. You go back out and you reassure everybody else that you're okay. You reassure them that things are okay, things are good, everything's great. But you was just in the room trying to pull yourself together. You was just in the room sitting on the edge of the bed, falling apart. I know what that looks like. Trust me, I know what that looks like. I've been there. I'm not telling you nothing that I haven't been through myself. If I hadn't experienced it, I wouldn't speak on it, but I've experienced it. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you weak to hit your knees, to say a prayer. When my back was against the wall, when the odds were stacked against me, all I knew how to do was what I had been taught since I was a kid. All I could do was hit my knees and pray. That's it. Sometimes we embarrassed to tell people. Sometimes we ashamed to admit we need help. There's no shame in going to God. There's no shame in using that resource. There's no shame in any of that. I promise there's no shame. You don't have to suffer by yourself. Jeremiah 29:11, for God knows the plans that he has for you, plans to prosper you. To prosper you. Why let yourself suffer if he has plans to prosper you? Why? You don't gotta be Superman with the S on your chest and everything, and you can handle everything. And pride cometh before the fall. Thinking that you can tackle everything and thinking that you gotta handle it by yourself and thinking that you just gotta He-Man it out and just gotta you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Don't let your pride get in the way of asking for help. Your pride will keep you suffering. It will keep you suffering. It'll keep you in that cycle that you're trying to get out of. It'll keep you in those problems that you're trying to get out of. It'll keep you falling. But God is there for you to ask for help. I know you may not want to go talk to somebody else. I know you may not want to go sit down and say, look, this is what I'm struggling with. I know that. But that first step, if you can't talk to somebody else, that first step, if you can't get some counseling, if you can't get some therapy, that first step is to just ask God for help. There's nothing wrong with asking God for help. You don't gotta tough it out by yourself. A phrase that one of my older cousins uses, he would say all the time, he would just say, man, you just gotta thug it out. Whatever you're going through, you just gotta thug it out. I'm here today to tell you, you don't gotta thug it out, fellas. We don't have to thug it out. We don't gotta sit there and figure, okay, all right, the bills is coming due, and I gotta pay this, and I gotta pay that, and the kids need this, and Lord, how I'm gonna figure. You can take all of that, right? Take all of it, put it all together, give it to Him, and say, God, I just need some help. I need some help to deal with all these issues in my life. I need some help. God, I'm still struggling with what my father said to me. I need some help. God, I'm still struggling with this trauma that I need some help. God, I'm still struggling with whatever it is. God, I need some help. Wherever you are, wherever you're at in life, God, I need some help. You don't want to talk to another person? That's fine. You don't want to go sit down in front of a therapist? That's fine. You don't want to get no counseling? That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But you do not have to keep suffering. If you can't talk to someone, why not talk to the first option, really, not the second option. He should be the first option. There's no reason for us to be caught in the things that we're caught in. There's no reason. I promise you, there's no reason that you should be suffering. Life gets hard, yes. But I remember I said to focus. Isaiah 26:3, you will keep him whose mind is stayed on you in perfect peace. You will have your peace if you focus on God, if you ask him for help, if you take all your cares and your problems to him, you can have that peace. You can have that peace. I'm living proof. I'm living proof that you can bounce back if you just give it to God. If you just go to him and say, I need help. Fellas, gentlemen, there is nothing wrong with asking God for help. There's nothing wrong at all. You don't got to keep toughing it out. You don't got to keep running yourself ragged into the ground, trying to figure everything out and balance everything out. You don't got to be Superman. You don't got to be Superman. Life is going to happen. Life is going to beat you up. Life is going to kick you. Life is going to put you in the corner. It's all going to happen. Whether we like it or not, life just happens. There's nothing you and I can do about that. We can't do nothing about life happening, but when it does happen, and when we start to feel like we're in the corner, and when we start to feel when your back's against the ropes, there's a way out the corner. There's a way to win the fight. There's a way to get out of that, and it's by asking God for help. Because I promise, when things got tough, when I was really like I messed up everything when I really like everything went to pieces and all I could do was pray. Because I didn't want to ask for help. I didn't want to get over my pride. I didn't want to put it. I'm here. If you walk away with nothing else, put your pride away. Stop saying you got it. Stop trying to thug it out, tough it out. Stop trying to he-man it out. Go ask God for help. Just go ask him for help. That's all you got to do. Just go ask him for help. He promises to be there for you. He promises to help you. His promises are yea, yea, and amen. So if that's the case, you don't gotta keep figuring everything out by yourself. There's a reason. There's a reason we have the word. There's a reason he's there for us. There is nothing that you can go through. There is nothing that can happen to you. There is no situation that is too big, there's nothing that he cannot handle. Where your faith at? Where's your focus at? Where's your focus at, fellas? Where's your faith at? Because if your focus is on your problems, if your focus is on the world, if your focus is on everything going wrong, you're not going to get that peace. You're not going to get that peace. You're going to feel like you got to keep Supermaning it out. You're going to feel like you got to keep doing it by yourself. But he's there for us. If nobody else is there for you, even to my fellas that don't have a support system, that y'all are out here getting through life by yourself, that everything is on you. You are not by yourself. When you look down in the sand and you only saw one set of footprints, he was carrying you. You're not by yourself. You are never alone. You might feel alone. It might look like you're alone, but you're never alone. So don't keep running yourself into the ground. Don't keep digging yourself into a hole. Don't let your pride keep getting in the way of you being successful, or of you. Go ask God for some help. Say it with me. Say it. We're going to say it again. Say it with me. There is nothing wrong with asking God for help. When I get up in the morning, I read my word, I say my prayers, and I ask for help with the things that I'm struggling with. I do. I ask for help with the things I'm struggling with, because I know he's got it. I know he's got me. I know he's got me. You don't gotta have a lot of faith. You just need a mustard seed, right? You just need a mustard seed. Listen, a small amount of faith. If you have that much faith in him, he's got you. I promise he's got you. If you have just this much faith, he's got you. You gotta have that faith in him to know that if I go to him, if I give him my problems, God's going to take care of it. God is gonna take care of it. Jesus said it in the Sermon on the Mount. If God takes care of the birds, if he takes care of the flowers, and they don't know where their next meal coming from, they don't know where if he can do all of that, what makes you think he can't take care of you? What makes you think he can't take care of you? I'm living, walking proof. I'm living, walking proof, because I have walked away. I have walked away from many a situation that I had no business walking away from, that I shouldn't be here to have this conversation with you. I shouldn't be here to tell you any of this, but I'm here to tell you. I'm 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 here for your benefit. I'm here for my benefit. I'm here to remind us that it is okay to ask God for help. It is 1000% okay. There's no shame in it. It don't make you weak. It don't make you a punk. It don't make you sissy to hit your knees and just say, God, I need some help. If you get nothing else out of what I'm saying today, please, 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 please remember it is okay to ask God for help. It is 100% okay. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope that you were blessed. I hope that you walked away with something that it touched you, that it filled your spirit. I thank everybody for that. I thank everybody that continues to tune in, that continues to watch. Thank you for, every episode, just taking this journey with me. Um, tune in to everything else on Virtuous Streams. Tomorrow is Food Talks with Kim Dorsey. Thursday is From the Desk of the Apostle with Apostle Mildred Dorsey. Resiliency and Recovery, the comeback, will be returning soon, along with the Word with Reem. So if you want to get some really good teaching, if you want to get your spirit filled, tune in. Just tune in. Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. Tune in. Keep tuning in. With that said, I love y'all. I hope you continue to have a blessed day. And I'll see you back here next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard for more Dad Can We Talk. Peace.